Hello.
Hello, Dan. How you doing?
I'm all right. How's things?
Yeah, busy day. The swimming's back. Swimming's back.
Well,
So,
it's been half term, isn't it? So it's all been kind of chaos in the swim teaching world. So it's either busy or it's really quiet. There's no sort of like happy medium. So yeah, it's been all right though. It's been good.
great stuff. So hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's live stream from Propulsion Swimming. If you haven't joined us before, welcome. Have a look at our YouTube channel. You can check out what we're about. But tonight's live stream, we're basically going to be kind of previewing the Glasgow Swim Meet because there wasn't too much good racing to talk about tonight. I mean, we'll go into it a little bit. We'll explain what really the aims of this meet are for a lot of the swimmers.
Yep.
We'll pick out a few swimmers who to keep an eye on through the weekend because there are some Olympic consideration times to be hit and spaces are still open for the Olympic team. And yeah, otherwise we will answer any questions that come in on the live chat and just have a chat with you all. I think tonight's going to be quite a quick one, isn't it, Dan? Before longer ones, kind of Friday and Saturday, and then a shorter one Sunday.
Yeah, well, there's no finals to talk about, so it's just the heats.
No.
So basically, the Glasgow meet is the last chance for Olympic qualification, effectively. That's what this Glasgow meet is about, and it's preparing these swimmers that have already qualified, because, of course, in Tokyo, the finals are in the morning, which is the same for this Glasgow meet as well. So basically, it's full preparation for these swimmers. We had 3 more events or Olympic consideration swims met in the Europeans last 2 weeks ago. So we had Anna Hopkin in 53. She got her time. Luke Greenback in 100 backstroke, and we had Cassie in a 200 backstroke as well. So hopefully we can add a couple more to the list because I've got potentially maybe 5 I could add to it potentially.
Okay,
we'll see.
Okay, I've got 5 Olympic consideration times that might be hit, but one of them is already on the squad anyway. Okay. So much like those 3 swims that you just said at Europeans, all of those swimmers were already going. They've now just qualified for an extra event, haven't they?
Yeah, that's right.
So I think the first thing to kind of warn everyone about this weekend is unless the swimmer is going for a consideration time, I would expect it to be a fairly slow meet. Because they're not resting for this, let's be honest. Yeah. I think all you have to do is look at the Mare Nostrum times over the past 5 days? They did Monaco at the weekend, they did Cannes today, and then they're doing Barcelona at the end of this week. Some of those times have not been good at all. I think the 53 was one in Manado and he didn't break 22. So it's been slow. So I think that's one thing to keep an eye on for this meet. Don't expect fast times. I think what me and Dan are looking for is faster morning swims and evening swims.
Yeah, getting faster through the rounds. I think that was, especially the Europeans 2 weeks ago, the British swimmers did so well at doing that. Getting quicker through the rounds, and a lot of them, we didn't expect it, but some of them hit PBs and British records, which was just mental.
Crazy.
We didn't expect that at all, and kind of going in with the same expectations for this meet where the times won't be as good as what they were at trials. I don't think they'll be as good as what they are at Europeans because they should now be, like a month out from Tokyo, month and a half out, give or take. Let's say 4 to 6 weeks, something like that.
I was going to say 6 weeks.
Yeah, 6 weeks out from Tokyo. So they should be in a pretty hard training block right now. They shouldn't really be tapering for another 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks or so, something like that. So yeah, they should be pretty heavy right now, pretty tired. But and based off some of these heat swims, I don't know if you just saw it, but it's kind of like a mixture. Some of them are taking it really steady to the point where Cassie Wilde went through to the final in 8th. I thought, oh no, she nearly didn't make it, which is and incredible.
She was silver at Europeans.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And then the other spectrum was Abby Wood, who took it out pretty strong in the heats. So it's kind of whoever different tactics, I suppose. I would like to go with Abby Wood's approach because if you're gonna in the heats at Tokyo, you're kind of wanting to go fast to make sure you get through to semis. So I'd be aiming to hit the time that you're aiming to hit in the heats of Tokyo. That's what I'd be trying to do.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Abby Wood's going to try and go with 2:10. 2:10 would be pretty solid.
I think that's semi-final time. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I think so.
No, quite comfortably.
Whereas Cassie Wilde's 200 backstroke, that doesn't do anything. So she's very lucky. Let's put it that way. She's very lucky. But yeah. It's a bit of a wake-up call, though. Might be a good thing.
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll go into previewing the finals, and in the same time we do that, we'll review the race in this evening. Let's start off though with that, Dan, with your list of names to keep an eye on who might hit consideration times.
Okay.
Because I've got a list of 5.
Okay.
So Laura Stevens in the 200 meters butterfly.
Yeah.
I think she's so far, I cannot believe she's not on the team right now. It just doesn't quite seem right because she's got PBs under the consideration times.
Yeah.
So this is last chance saloon.
I mean, I'm kind of in two minds really because she's only 0.06 off that 100 fly time, but she hasn't entered it. I'm like,
I know.
Could have just that extra little stronger fly kick or extra reach to the wall, or I don't know, little bits of detail in the race. But she's not entered that. So obviously she's gone with the full 100% focus on the 200 fly, which we said before trials. We said that she'd be going. She was on our list, wasn't she, for the 200 fly?
Yeah.
And we kind of hoped that she'd get the 100 fly as a bonus. But I
still think she might go if she doesn't hit the times because of that 4x1 medley relay, which did so well at Europeans. They might take her for a heat swim.
Potentially, but British swimming are a bit brutal sometimes, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I kind of, in the same race, if you like, it could be Laura Stevens, it could be Emily Large, it could be Kiana McInnes, it could go anyway. But I think Laura Stevens would be the favourite to do it if one of those 3 were to qualify for Tokyo in the 200 fly.
Yeah, see, I thought Kiana McInnes might have gone for the 2 back after Europeans.
Yeah, well,
but she's not entered it. So it's kind of weird because entries closed before Europeans, and then some of these guys swam different events at Europeans and swam so well, and now you're just looking at it and just like, oh, you've missed your last chance to get the time. It's harsh. I would have thought British swimming could have allowed some leniency to get them to swim, but obviously not.
Yeah, I mean, they're brutal sometimes. I'm sure it's the same with other countries as well. I remember I told you the story of, I think it was an Australian backstroker. She broke the world record in the semi-final, but then came third in the final and then didn't go. It was just top 2, which was shocking, really. But it's brutal. It's the way it is, I suppose.
So the other names on my list to keep an eye on, Jay Lelliot in the 200 meters butterfly. He was very unfortunate to just miss it at trials. We spoke to him after trials and he said there's more in the tank. So I'm looking forward to a 155. Holly Hibbert in the 400 meters freestyle. I think she's been one of the most unlucky people going so far. Trials she would have been full taper for that, but she had no one to race. And Europeans, she was clearly in a hard block of training, racing against a world-class field that actually wasn't that fast.
No, it wasn't.
So again, this is her last chance. I think. Has she got the PB to get through? I think she might.
I think she has the PB. So she's got the potential to go the Olympic consideration time, but hasn't done it since trials, basically.
Yeah.
So.
And then my final name is someone who's already qualified, and it's Abby Wood. I'm interested to see what she goes in the 400 meters IM because this is the first time she's entered it long course in a very long time, and we know what sort of form she's in. So I wonder if it's a backup for Tokyo in case they don't swim the 4x2 relay, so she's got another race.
Maybe. I had a different name for the 400 IM. We were bigging up Michaela Glenister. And she didn't quite perform at trials. I mean, obviously, it happens to everyone. You just have an off week or off weekend. I'm hoping that she can turn it around and hopefully get that consideration time. I think it was 4:35 or 36 or something along those lines. Then, of course, you've got Hannah Miley, who's a bit of an outside shot. That would be an absolute amazing comeback if she was able to get that time. But she's a bit of an outside shot. I agree with you, Jay Lelliot. I messaged him this morning saying good luck and everything else like that. Holly Hibbert, yes. Unlucky. I think I'm going to agree with you on that because she's
she's not had the depth of field to race. It's been tough.
She's on the outside lane for the final in Budapest, and only one of those swimmers went quicker than the Olympic consideration time. So she had no real pacemakers or anything to help her. I had 2 more names down, both of which are already on the plane anyway. Brody Williams in the 200 backstroke, although he took it extremely easy this time. And then Joe Litchfield and 100 backstroke. They were my other names as well.
Just it depends how much they're training through this if they've already got their spots. That's my only thinking. That's
the other side of it. I mean, Joe Litchfield was so close to that 100 backstroke time. I think it was 0.05 or something along those lines. Just a fingernail away. So I think he goes for it because he would be a very nice like a heat swimmer for the 4x1 medley.
Well,
If you
I
Luke in a
think they
final.
might. I think they might swim in the heats anyway.
Yeah, possibly.
Because he's already on the plane, so he doesn't technically need to hit the consideration time.
Yeah,
He might already swim that heat swim if Luke's schedule's quite tough.
that's true.
But
Yeah.
I don't think Luke's schedule should be that bad.
Honestly, I haven't looked at the schedule. I need to look at it properly, and like digest it.
Go into it.
Yeah. My biggest question of the whole weekend actually is the women's 4x200 freestyle team. Do we take one or do we not? That is the question I want answered, because
Well, I know your answer.
Well, yeah, I say yes, obviously, but I just want to know if we get underneath that time. I don't know if they're still doing a time trial or not.
No,
They're not doing a time trial now. No, I didn't think so. But I think it comes down to the individual 200 free and then just basically add up those times. Because I'd love to see Lucy Hope on the plane. I think she more than deserves to be at least on a relay, if not just going for the individual.
Definitely, definitely.
And then, of course...
now that they've got that 4x1 qualified, she might go for that. But
yes,
time will tell. I'm hoping for a nice announcement that she's on it. Her and Laura Stevens would be my two, which hopefully, no matter what happens this weekend, they might get picked, is my thinking.
It would make sense, especially for Laura Stevens. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So right. Shall we go through tonight's racing?
Yeah, very briefly. It wasn't anything absolutely outstanding because it's just heat swims. But we started off with
there's a few things to touch on. The women's 200 IM. Abby Wood went a 2:10. That's good. I know we said expect slow times, but a 2:10.1 at this time of the year in a heat swim is pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, what would you expect her to do in a heat swim at Tokyo? I think 2:10 is probably about right. So I think she's planning or preparing the efforts that she's going to put in for the heats at Tokyo.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I took away with it.
Racecraft.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. And just proper preparation for Tokyo, because if you just go slow like Cassie did, for example, we'll get on to Cassie, you've learned nothing from that apart from, oh my god, let's not go that slow ever again, because there's no benefit to you at all. Whereas Abby, I think, has learned quite a lot from that swim. So
I get you. Men's 200 meters IM, Max Litchfield, fastest qualifier into the final tomorrow.
Yeah.
Now Max actually looks in really good form after trials. He didn't look amazing. He got on the team. At Europeans, he was one of my favorite swimmers out of the British squad, and he's only carrying on that form right now.
Yeah, it's very strange actually that the 200 IM of his is actually looking really good. Again,
he's not going to get on the team for it because it's already sewn up.
No, it's already gone. Yeah, but for his 400 IM, I suppose it bodes pretty well. Really, he was using Duncan tonight for the first 100 meters of the race, and then he left Duncan on the breaststroke actually. So it looks good. I mean, both Litchfield brothers, both fastest qualifiers. That'll be a bit of a dogfight tomorrow morning, won't it? That'd be nice to watch.
And fun. I mean, you look at the names in that final actually, and it's top quality. So you got Max Litchfield, Joe Litchfield, Mark Schranek, Duncan Scott, Tom Dean, William Riley, Charlie Hutchinson. There's names galore there, and they're all within 2-3 seconds. So it's going to be a fun final no matter what times they swim.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine Duncan's going to win it, and he'll probably go, I'm going to say 156, something like that. So he's not going to get anywhere near his British record or anything like that. They might even go like a low 157, high 56, something along those lines. But I expect him to win it, and then Joe will do what he always does and goes 157, 158. And then, I don't know, Max is like the dark horse, kind of. I just wonder if he's going to spoil the party and just steal one of those top two places. We'll see. It might be quite interesting. Yeah.
Women's 100 meters butterfly tomorrow. I mean, looking at the times they all swam this morning, PB +2, are we, for a lot of these?
Yeah, +1, +2, give or take, yeah.
Quite a steady swim. Kiana McKeans goes in as fastest qualifier. Is there a chance that I think there's still a spot open in this, isn't there?
For the 100 fly, yes, only Harriet's got the spot, but it's quite a quick time. It's a 57.9.
57.92.
Yeah, so it is. They got to find another 2 seconds from what they swam tonight in the morning as well. So it's a bit of a big ask, but you just never know. You never know. Harriet's looking a little bit off color at the moment. I think she is in
training hard.
She knew she was qualified obviously after trials, and since then she looks heavy. Nothing's quite clicking at the moment, but that's probably down to the hard training that she's doing at Cardiff, which is the right thing to do, obviously.
Definitely. Men's 100 meters butterfly. Jimmy Guy obviously goes in fastest qualifier and big favorite. A 52.0 this evening, though.
Mm.
That's not overly slow. That's pretty good time.
She's on he's on the same sort of wavelength as Abby, I assume, because I think a 52.0 is probably good enough for a semi-final at Tokyo. Would you say? Might have to go a little bit quicker, like a 51.
Tiny bit.
Yeah, 51.678, something along those lines. I think that's then good enough for a semi-final. So I'm actually that's quite a good time. Yeah, it's a pretty good gauge anyway. Jacob Peters looked pretty solid as well. Maybe
this is an event which is an event that's sewn up, so there's no spaces on offer here tomorrow. So again, it's kind of just see how those two go into the Olympics.
Race preparation.
Yeah, exactly. How their race preps go in. See if they can swim fast in the morning, which is it's kind of a bigger deal than you realize, isn't it, Dan?
It is. It's not easy actually, because there's a lot of swimmers. I mean, I don't know about these guys because these are the guys at the top, but some swimmers can't eat in the morning.
No,
I know they start relatively late. They start at 10. I think they warm up. Oh no, sorry, they warm up at 8 and then they race at 10. I think it's something like that. So it's not mega early. It's not your 6 o'clock in the morning. But some swimmers still struggle to eat in the morning. Obviously, if you don't eat or don't drink, then you've got no energy to then swim well in about 2 hours, 3 hours later. So there's different obstacles. So your body's not completely awake, obviously, and et cetera, et cetera. So there are other factors that could be a hindrance, if you like.
Women's 200 back tomorrow. Now, I said Kiana McKeans. I did not mean that. I meant Katie Shanahan, didn't I? After Europeans, I think she's a big name to look out for tomorrow. I mean, Cassie Wild, I don't know what she quite did this evening. Outside burner she's going for.
That's what she's going to have to do now. She's in lane 8. Yeah.
What time's Katie Shanahan got to hit tomorrow?
Oh, gosh, you're going to have to check that. But she's gone.
She's got to go at 2:08.44.
Oh, so she's going to have to find another second and a half.
PB,
so she went 2:09.9 2 weeks ago. And she went 2:12 tonight, actually, and looks relatively comfortable, actually. If I'm going to be a critique of some form, her swim speed on top of the water, really nice. It's just the underwater work isn't quite as effective as, let's say, your Cassie Wild, your Kathleen Dawson. But it's just something to work on. So.
Yeah, she is still 16, 17. Yeah, there's a lot to improve there. And like we said, after Europeans, women's backstroke looks very, very good for Britain right now. It's almost back to the days where we had Lizzie Simmons and Gemma Spopoff.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Yeah, so it's going in the right direction, definitely.
Definitely.
And the fact that she's only 16, I mean, bodes well for potentially Paris, I suppose. In 3 years' time, makes her 19. Then, really exciting.
Men's 200 meters backstroke. Do you reckon Elliot Clogg has a chance to upset Brodie Williams at the second spot here? Because he has been swimming really, really well. Yes, Europeans, he was as slow as the rest of the British squad. But he goes in fastest qualifier. He's going to have Luke next to him, and we know Luke is in really, really good form. He's going to have to go a 1:56.6.
It's quick, isn't it? It is quick.
It's quick.
I mean, he took out the first 100 in a 57.3. And if you're going to go a 1:56, I mean, it's not too far away of what you've got.
Do you think he went for it tonight?
Possibly. I mean,
and just didn't quite have the legs.
I mean, if I'm Elliot Clogg, I would go for both of them, both the heat and the final. Just absolutely go for it. Give yourself giving yourself 2 chances is obviously better than having just the 1 chance.
I'm not sure if they get the times in the heats here, if it counts or not. I'd have to research. I'll research into it for tomorrow.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions, because if you're, I don't know, let's say you're a 50-meter freestyler and you smash out in the heat, for example, and then it just doesn't quite click in the final, then what happens? It's an interesting one. I was kind of thinking that for Laura Stevens, if she entered the 100 fly, just do the heat, because it's in the afternoon, so you're supposed to be a little bit faster, and then pull out the final. I don't know. There's different ways of playing around with it, but I think it would make sense if they didn't qualify in the heat, because there's more pressure in the final. But I don't know, not sure. Do a bit of research for us.
I will. Women's 50 meters freestyle. Our podcast guest this week, Anna Hopkin, looking very, very good.
Oh yes, I mean she blew away the field. It was actually quite incredible. I mean,
Mm.
from the very first stroke, the breakout was really strong, and she just, I mean, we spoke to her. She does so much work on fins and paddles, like she was saying, but the way she holds the water and then keeps the momentum going throughout the whole length.
Mm.
And now she said that her favorite event is the 100 as well. She's like,
I
wow,
know.
blows my mind. So yeah, I had to interject on that podcast. Like, what, really? Oh my god, wow. So but yeah, no, she's really good. Obviously, there's a place up for grabs in the women's 53. I just don't know if I suppose Isabel Hindley.
I don't think
Lucy Hope
any.
do it. I don't. You know, you're right. I think I'm clutching at straws a little bit, but I think
That's-
it'll just be Anna going for the 50. I would have thought.
The fact that Anna's just gone 700ths slower than a very fast consideration time this time of year is really, really encouraging. I think she makes Olympic finals in. Ooh. The 50 is going to be tough. The field's deep in the 50, but maybe the 100.
I think that there's a chance, definitely in the 100. I mean, 50 is a blimmin' pick 'em out of a hat sometimes, and you just like you might get lucky, you might not. But the way she's swimming at the moment, I think she's looking good for final in the 100 especially, but maybe the 50 as well. I think Sostrom went 24-0, didn't she? Not so long ago. I mean, that's quick.
No, I think she went 25 something.
Oh, was it 25-0? Oh, then I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think so. She didn't. She swam Mare Nostrum this weekend, and it was PB +2. I think she went.
Oh, okay.
PB,
Well, that's
PB
quite far.
+1, PB +2.
Yeah,
but considering she's just had elbow surgery, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, she's doing better in the 50 than she is the 100, and I think that's quite obvious, really, because double the distance. But yes, no, Anna's doing really well, and I can't wait to see what she does tomorrow. Actually, I think she goes quick.
Yeah, I do think she goes fast. Men's 50 meters freestyle. Ben Proud at 22-1. Nothing to panic about there. That's exactly the same as the whole field around the world right now. Just seems to be the literally. It's weird. All of the men's 50 freestyle times are. You can't pick them apart. Yeah, they're completely identical all the way across the board, wherever you go.
Yeah, it's very interesting. 2 weeks ago, they were all going 21.6, and then 2 weeks later, so today, they're all going 22.0.
They're all doing like the same training program. They're just all doing the James Gibson.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're all doing the same thing. Obviously, it's just get from point A to point B as fast as you can. They all basically have straight arm freestyle. They all have strong underwaters at the start, quick reactions. So they're all doing the same thing, I imagine. But yeah, 22-1 is about right. I think there's a little bit more in the tank. I think he goes sub 22 tomorrow.
I'm reading the start list here for the final tomorrow. Adam Barrett. Is that the Adam Barrett I think it is from Loughborough?
Yeah, the flyer, I think.
Yeah, is he back?
I don't know. I need to double check
in the water for a 53.
Just for a quick
have a look at that one ahead of tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very good flyer, 100 flyer.
Yeah,
especially.
there's a bigger field for this meet than there has been at any meet so far this season. I believe there's 300 swimmers. So there's a little bit more depth, but again, it's a little bit too late for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's para swimmers as well. We got to mention some para swimmers, which I'll get onto later, actually, because there was a British record from a certain swimmer, which I'll tell you about in a minute.
Oh, but go for it. Women's 50 breaststroke. Sarah Vasey. You can't look past her tomorrow, can you? She's very good at a 50 breaststroke. I kind of wish it was an Olympic race to see how good she could go, because she's one of those where she's good at the 100, but she's definitely more suited to the 50.
Oh, yeah, definitely. She's a lot more explosive. She reminds me of Imogen Clark. I imagine that Sarah Vasey and Imogen Clark are almost identical in terms of talent, speed, extra, because they're super explosive off the block. I think Sarah kind of half messed up her breakout looking. The camera, by the way, is quite difficult to watch. The camera, it just.
You know what? I had on the first two races, and then I just listened because
the graphics were quite.
Right. You know, I'm so glad British Swimming have put it on YouTube, but. I'm not gonna. It's day one. I am not gonna get into it. Not yet.
So the camera angle is quite difficult, but it looks like she didn't get the best of starts and the best of breakouts. But then, obviously, the swim speed, she came through. So I think there's a little bit to knock off there, maybe 0.1, 0.2. But overall, I mean, she's gonna win it. It just depends how fast she goes. If she can go, I can't remember what she did at in Budapest. Was it 30.4? I can't remember now, or 30.5. But if she can go anywhere close to that, then she's doing pretty well.
Men's 50 breaststroke, Adam Peaty. Do we need to say much?
I don't know. Well, it's just consistency, isn't it? 27 dead, I think he was, which
Yeah.
is just awesome, really. It's just very, very, very good. Also, a second off his world record. Yeah, he's just. Yeah, you're right. There's not much to say. He's just very good at what he does, and it's great that he's British, and it's great that he can be a role model for so many kids, and especially when it's on YouTube. Hopefully, lots of people can watch it. And obviously, the 100 will come later on this weekend, and I'm sure he'll blitz the field even more than what he did today.
Yeah, just basically, I'm not even worried about what time he goes really at this time of the year. I mean,
No,
I know
it's just-
he's actually, you speak to him and he's really encouraged by the times that he's doing because he's never swam this fast in April, May, June. He always times it right for major competitions, which I think that world record's going.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's just by how much.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the 50 is not in the Olympics, but the 100 is. I think that's going. I think he goes 56.5. I think he knocks off 0.2, 0.3. I think it's going to be quite significant. I really do. And he was saying that he's never been this fast before in. I think we spoke. When did we speak to him? May or April, May. So he's never been this fast before at this point in the season. So, going off what he's saying, we're expecting fireworks in the next month or so. Can't wait for it.
So that's what tomorrow's finals previewed.
Yes, we had the men's 150 IM, which is where the British record came in from Lyndon Longhorn.
Yes.
I can't remember the time. I didn't write the time. I just put British record, amazing. That's
3:01:18.
Yeah. So I mean, he just carries on every time he gets in the water. He breaks the British record. It's incredible.
Well, it's
incredible
because he's been reclassified, isn't it? So he's changed to a different classification, which means he's now smashing all of those records until I don't know when he's going to get reclassified again. If he does,
I don't know.
He might just stay where he is. But it progresses as they get assessed every time they race, basically.
Well, that's what Jack was saying to us. So he was more of the know-how, isn't he? But I mean, still good for him. I mean, British records. He's going to have every event under his belt at the moment, based on what he's doing, British record wise. But yeah.
So that's the finals for tomorrow previewed. Like we said, that honestly, it's a little bit less about what sort of times happens tomorrow or even who wins. We've just got our eyes on a few consideration times to be hit. And then I'm just going to be paying attention to see who goes faster in a morning swim. So, for example, Abby Wood, I'm quite excited to see if she could go a 2:09 tomorrow morning. That would be really impressive.
I honestly think she does. Yeah, I do. Yeah. It's just, if you were going to pick a British swimmer who is on the best form right now, you'd probably say Kathleen Dawson and then Abby Wood.
And then
Greenbank, maybe?
Yeah, there's a load. There's a load.
Quite a few. There is quite a few.
Cool.
But,
so our plan this weekend is do this style again. We'll rattle through it with you guys. If you guys have any questions, I mean, put them in the chat now by all means. But all weekend, we just want to chat with you guys. We're less worried about what racing's going on in the pool and kind of just chatting through before Tokyo, because this is going to be our last live stream before Tokyo, if I remember correctly. Yeah,
you're right. Yeah. I think so. Because this is almost like our trial run for Tokyo, because of course finals in the morning, so we can't. I mean, we could, but we're not going to be up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I highly doubt you guys will be up at that time as well. So we'll just set a time, maybe the same time, 7:30 every night during that week or 10 days, and then we'll take it from there. Basically, see how it all works.
Yeah. So if no one has any questions tonight, what we'll do is we'll see you all again tomorrow, 7:30. We're gonna we've picked this time. We're sticking with it through the whole weekend.
Yep.
And we'll go over some British swimming. I'd be amazed if we see fast times, and if we do, me and Dan will be stunned and jumping around the room.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But I think it's just good to. I'm more excited by the junior in the lunchtime slot, because this is the first time they're going to be racing for a while. We will give them all a shout out. We'll go through their kind of meet their times, because it's all heat declared winners. Yeah. So we'll give the winners a shout out, names potentially to keep an eye on for the future.
Absolutely. It's all about inspiring the next generation, isn't it? So, I mean, it's great that's, kind of a shame that they don't associate or race at the same time as the elite side, but at the same time, it's all COVID measures and stuff. So it's good that they're back in the pool. I think it either goes one of two ways with them. They're either going to do absolutely incredible, or it's not going to be at the level that they're expecting. But hopefully...
We'll get into that. We'll get into it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that just just about rounds up tonight's live stream from Propulsion Swimming. Thank you so much for everyone who's joined us. Tomorrow we'll have a lot more to talk about because there are finals, there's heat swims, there's juniors, and hopefully you'll all come with plenty of questions for us. So if you haven't checked out our latest podcast, now's a good time to go do it. It's a good one with Anna Hopkin.
It is.
But until tomorrow, have a nice evening.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.